It's the post office. Laundromat. Verizon store. Ooh. Dentist was back there. Another church. Rich dude's house. That's a sewing shop that burnt down. Cousin's house. This is a car
So
store.
Tom, you're from Erie, Pennsylvania. I've never been. What's it like?
Erie, Pennsylvania is the greatest place in the world.
Where are we going?
We are going to the first house I've ever lived in. My background is kind of rough. My parents got divorced when I was very, very young. My dad moved out. I still live with my mom. But then what happened to my mom is her mom died. And then right after her mom died, a year later, her dad died. She fell into this state of depression. And she wouldn't get out of bed. She wouldn't take us to school. Like, it was really bad. And then she lost her job. And right after she lost her job, she got cancer. So, like, all of our money went towards paying her medical bills because she didn't have any health insurance. We got evicted from our house. We moved to some like cabin in the woods. Nothing worked in it. It was literally just like this really, really cheap apartment. I went to like 7 different schools in the area, but a lot of it was just trying to like get away from where we were for like financial reasons. But I moved to Mill Creek in this townhouse that was shared with 4 different families. Wasn't the best part of Mill Creek, but I lived there for 8 or 9 years, and then I just most recently moved out of that area back to where I'm originally from. In high school, I did forensics. Forensics in high school is a argumentation-based competition. So it's how we frame arguments using speeches. How I found forensics was the coach at my high school came up to me the end of my sophomore year, and he knew that I had a lot of experience with theater because I started doing theater when I was 10. And since it is a form of competitive acting, he thought that I would be really good. How I made my decision to come here was like originally I wasn't even looking at George Mason. If there's a school that's giving me like 95% of the tuition, I should go to that school. But I found out that George Mason had a forensics team, and I did a lot of research. I sent an audition tape back in November to Peter, and then he let me on the team. It was pretty cool. Indianapolis was the first tournament of the year. It was a 2-day tournament, so on the first day it was like its own little tournament, on the second day it's its own little tournament. At Indy, I competed in after dinner speaking, which is a form of argumentation using humor to drive the argument. My speech specifically is about how there are legal issues and social issues revolving around same-sex divorce. And I have never done like a platform event. I've always done like the interpretation, which is more the competitive acting. Both days I did final, which was pretty cool, especially for my first tournament.
Do you like humor? Do you like using humor?
Yeah, I use humor as a coping mechanism.
All right. Has that always been the case? You using humor?
Yeah. I don't know. I just like to be fun. Like if things are sad, like people shouldn't be sad. For the rest of the semester in forensics, I just want to keep putting in the work and showing that I'm here for a reason and I'm here to work. There's a tournament at the end of the year called the Norton. Wouldn't mind doing well at that. I would like to final, obviously. But I'm not gonna like overthink it. If I do really bad, whatever. If I do really good, whatever. I have no expectations.
I was looking in the camera like the office.
I feel so sick to my stomach because they're about to host finals and I don't think I'm in any of them.
Okay. No.
I was honestly surprised. Poi, I was okay with whatever I got, but with persuasion, I was not confident at all that my persuasion was going to do well.
In fourth place from Tallahassee, Susan Liss. In third place from George Mason University, Tom Maravito.
How do I think the rest of the year is going to go, and what do I hope? Well, let me tell you, Lucas. I don't know how the rest of the year is going to go. Things are weird. We have the next big tournament's HFO in January, and we'll just see how that goes. But I'm feeling pretty good. I'm putting in work, and hopefully that works for me. Okay. One thing to take away from all this is that life is too short to mess it up. So take it.
You messed it up this time.
I can't look at you.
Okay.
Just do it.
One thing. One thing to take away from all this is that life is. Sorry. One thing to take. Stop laughing.